It seems Nigeria will not change this culture of hide and seek all the time, especially with the people at the corridor of power. Whenever they have a health issue, they will be playing a boju game about it. When they said the late Lagbaja was sick, they even said, no, the man was all right until we hear his demise. The same thing about Buhari. The new one now is about the current Senate President Godwill APABIO, that is number 3 citizen of this country. How will somebody like that sick and there will be no official announcement from House of Assembly? What is your reaction towards this, Mr. Chinedu?
It opens a trading video where it was spotted somewhere in an event outside Nigeria, and the man was really looking very shaky, and that prompted a serious reaction from millions of Nigerians questioning the fitness and the health issue undisclosed that is surrounding him, given how he was able to be captured by camera in that event outside Nigeria. APABIO's illness, like we're speculating, I think to an extent is very serious, and I don't know why the Nigerian government has been silent over it. Maybe because of the power tussle, who is going to replace him at the end of the day. Will APABIO actually survive it or not? Is it deadly? Is APABIO incapacitated? Is APABIO being pronounced to have passed on? These are the questions millions of Nigerians are asking, and why will such thing be kept under the carpet secretly? Undisclosed place in London, like you can hear, we can see. Unfortunately, because of the emergency surrounding him, he has been moved to another location out from that clinic in London, and we don't know where he is now, from what is being reported across concerning APABIO. Let us look at the impact of APABIO's absence in the Senate. How would it look like? This is one of the top loyalists to Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, and of course one of the people who is behind whatever formulation the government intend to achieve between the executive and of course the legislature. APABIO is the front runner at that point. And now that it's being reported that his whereabouts is unknown, people are questioning what has actually transpired. A lot of people are pointing a certain finger to his severe relationship with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that might trigger what has happened, or he is actually having a very serious ill health, a terminal one for that matter. And some of these politicians, because of what is involved, they do not like to make their present health status public, and a lot of people are also reacting to the issue that has to do with Natasha, whether he contaminated any virus or a kind of that has to do with that relationship, has been speculated in some quarters within the Nigerian space, because we know that immediately when Natasha came and was trying to force herself into the Senate, there was a kind of resistance, and so many things undisclosed surrounding that APABIO Natasha first off currently now. But the question is, at what point APABIO was flown out of the country, and at what point the doctors there have refused to attend to him, and what is the implication of what is happening within the Senate leadership, and of course the executive currently now. What is actually going on? We don't know. There are several efforts to get a response from his media team, and everything about that has been kept silent up to this month, triggering speculations that APABIO might be in for an emergency.
Let's look at issue of our democracy since 1999 up to this moment. Why have we been parading some unhealthy leader from Yaradua to Buhari to even Tinubu is not that healthy currently now into the APABIO? Why are we parading the unhealthy leader?
When we have more than 130 million able-bodied youth, intelligent, young men in the likes of Sowore and the rest of them who are supposed to be at the position of strategic, leadership in Nigeria. They are not being given. They don't give them that kind of opportunity. That's the part. That's what we are facing. And every point in time, we keep on recycling these people who have over the time they enjoyed themselves, contacted one terminal or might be disease or the other. At the end of the day, they still need our taxpayers' money, to actually take care of themselves, gradually. And look at the issue of also coming from the Niger Delta leaders who are saying, that APABIO, has not actually done well and has not actually represented the people of Niger Delta very well. And look at also what is also breeding in Rivers State. And look at the election that is coming on up now. And outside that, I think the Aso Rock will be unsettled currently now because of what is happening to APABIO. We don't know how long this thing is going to last, and we don't know why the doctors has been reported, has refused to, attend to APABIO. We don't know at what point he break down. We don't know actually the kind of terminal disease, that has eaten up to the extent that he's been flown from one location to another. Nigerians deserve to know because this is a man who is currently the Senate president of Nigeria. And another thing is that there's a lot of pressure from Nigerians all over the world concerning these leaders who has brought so many things, poverty, impunity, anti-people policies, corruption, so many things, surrounding them, how they manage, to still make use of our taxpayers' money to satisfy their health issues or health challenges at every point in time. APABIO is not an exception to this kind of issue before. We saw it clearly when it happened to Buhari, and Buhari, everyone saying, even to an extent, Shehu Gaba issued a report that he's actually getting better, and at any moment from now he will be discharged. At the end of the day, the next thing we heard that Buhari has actually passed on. And now this is APABIO at this point in time. What is actually going on and what is actually playing out. Why wouldn't Nigerians be able to know where their leaders are being taken to, as a result of health challenges or as a result of health issues, and why would the doctors reject him? What is he actually suffering from? Or is it another way of disguising for political strategy? Or they just decide to went underground to re-strategize or to play a kind of game that will look like as if their coming back is going to be more fruitful, or they are going to champion a certain cause against their political enemy at the end of the day.
Before we go, I have two questions. Before then, please, our people, don't forget to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe if you are watching for the first time. The other time you said that maybe it's related to Natasha issue. Is it going to be the pressure, as a result of the pressure you receive from Natasha scandal, or do you think he actually, contracted a disease maybe during some sexual intercourse? So what are you trying to?
No, that's the point, because we already see what is already playing out in Aso Rock currently now. We saw the IG, of police, getting involved into, some kind of mistresses granting promotion when there's that exposes our leaders to, abuse of office in all ramification, So we also saw a stinky Senate where a Senate president is involved in sexual, harassment with a lady who's also a serving senator, So these are the things, and it's still believed, they were not very close of, getting themselves, to the other side of the bed, has been speculated there in the media, but by some people too. But the fact still remain, there might be some certain things that regarding to that, possibly it can happen. We are all human beings, and we know this kind of a thing it can happen. We cannot tell you categorically this is what it is. Another factor that's been feared that might trigger the removal of APABIO as the Senate president currently now is the presence of Jonathan in the political space, and it is been believed that these are the people who actually betrayed Jonathan in the past, and that Jonathan is signaling coming back to the PDP, it triggers some kind of heart attack or breakdown, and concerning because Jonathan is going to make sure definitely that he paid them back in their own coin, and this kind of thing might build a build up to what breaks APABIO down health-wise, and unfortunately I don't know how far the doctors are going to go along to continue to battle the reality concerning APABIO's death. Another thing is the pressure of failure too is also there, because I think to an extent I can tell you that APABIO is the worst Senate president ever in the history of Nigeria, and a lot of Nigerians will want to know his whereabouts and why he is not in the Senate seat currently now. Has been speculated that he is being flown abroad as a result of illness.
Before you go, let's talk about the recent video that went viral where APABIO actually killed Tinubu while he was alive. He said instead of mentioning Buhari, he mentioned Tinubu, that they just buried Tinubu. Can we say that one is as a result of ill health, unhealthy, unsounded mind?
Yes, I think to an extent he repeated it consecutively, and people are wondering what actually happened. Is that means these people are already out of their mind, out of reality, their brain and their senses are no longer working, are no longer acting, but still they insist on being part of the leadership of Nigeria. This is a serving president, and Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not comfortable with that pronouncement right there in the Senate, saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is dead.
Just got buried.
And unfortunately, coming from a Senate president who was supposed to be on the know, and some of these things now are questioning a lot of things surrounding his personality currently now and his well-being currently now, and it might be the reason why he has gotten a sack letter from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he needed to go, and APABIO actually break down and say, when receiving sack letter, that you can no longer be my Senate president, you don't know what you are doing, your policies are anti-policies, and it's affecting my personal image currently now. Is that means, in the instance of it, Bola Ahmed Tinubu might actually be shopping for the replacement of APABIO as the Senate president, considering his abysmal failure in the Senate. And of course, this might have triggered the total health breakdown that the doctors in London clinic have refused him and send him to an emergency health tourism in the UK now. He's moving from one clinic to another. I pray that the international community might not be here more involved, because we have seen a lot of them saying there will be visa restrictions on these people who have destroyed the elections and democracy. And I hope that is not what is affecting APABIO now currently, who is believed to be outside Nigeria seeking for where to have a medical attention.
It is very, very unfortunate as you are going that it is Nigeria government official that usually prove even the rumor or peddler. They are the one that usually prove them right, because so many circumstances that we have mentioned where they will say somebody is sick and they will say it's a lie, but eventually you will hear that the person died. So they are the one that usually come out to prove this kind of a rumor to be true. They may come out now and say APABIO is okay, but eventually the contrary is so. It's not our fault, it is what they usually do. I am sick. Thank you very much, and remain blessed.
Thank you.